right, the rock and roll heavy metal is rocking here on the show on Shaw TV, episode number 77. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Matt Carter. Another awesome show for you here. Our musical guest in behind us right now is Hyperfiend. They're in Nanaimo, actually a bilingual rock outfit, singing both English and French. Actually features our own Shaw TV's Razor Raymond on the bass and vocals. Really stoked to hear some more of their songs. Really stoked that since he's singing, he can't boo any of my jokes for once. He's actually one of our long-term camera operators here. Anyways, we're going to meet them as well in an interview with Matthew Hoffman later on this hour. Also on today's show, we have our own funkier local version of Antiques Roadshow. Yes, it's actually got the creative name of Interesting Old Stuff on our script, but we've actually got an interesting young guy, Andrew Roberts, who's going to be talking with Trader Jake to share out some of the really interesting, funky things you can find in downtown Nanaimo. We're also very pleased to welcome back Habitat for Humanity Mid-Vancouver Island to the Shaw TV studios. It's a group that actually works to end the cycle of poverty by providing solutions through housing. And Joni's going to find out more about the organization's activities from Mid-Island Executive Director Teresa, Ludvigson. Joni's also leading the other segment on community support by introducing us to the Nanaimo Women's Center. It's an organization that rightfully believes that by having strong women and strong families, that makes for a stronger and healthier community. So we're going to get more information on the center from Executive Director Lesley and Clarke. Our in-house illusionist, Michael Berends, he's back for another Magic Moment with Michael segment. In addition to meeting Hyperfiend behind us, we're also going to meet drummer Joey Paul, also goes by the name Sir Drummallot. Not to be confused with Mr. Drummond from Different Strokes, who is not terribly funky whatsoever. Willis, on the other hand, with the afro might be. But anyways, we're going to talk to Joey Paul, see what he's got going on in the drumming scene. Rachel Lounger is going to sit down and talk with Ted Carson, who's the chairman of the Nanaimo Foundation. It's a community foundation that takes donations and endowments and turns it into some amazing worthwhile projects that benefits both the city and the citizens here in Nanaimo. You'll be able to find out how you can contribute as well. As for one of our ever popular food segments, Joni wins the draw this time, and she's going to speak with Chef Wes Erickson and fisherman Mauriks about Crabfest 2014. A big yummy crab festival happening in the New Spay. That's happening in mid-July. Get your butter melted, head on down to the kitchen. But first, Ryan Sugiyama is going to kick things off. He's going to find out about a music series and other great events happening in downtown Nanaimo this summer. So don't touch that dial, just sit back and smile. You're watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
I'm here today with Deborah Beck, who's with Parks, Recreation, Culture, to talk about a few things going on in the parks. And the first thing we're going to go over are the concerts in the park. And there's quite an array of different things and some new things in terms of times of day. So Deb, why don't you tell us about what's going on? And you've coordinated and booked all these entertainers.
Yeah, so we have our summer concerts in the park again this year. This is always a great family event. We have it at Bowen Park and Sutton Park. So in the evenings in July, we have it at Bowen on Wednesdays from 6 till 7:30, and in August on Wednesdays from 6 till 7:30 at Sutton Park. Something new this year is we have a Tuesday lunch one down at Sutton Park, and that's in July and August down at coming down between 12:30 and 1:30. Spend your lunch hour with us. Bring a picnic lunch, hang out on the grass. We have lots of different groups there, a wide variety, as you can see. Everywhere from a little Celtic, a little folk, a little bit of orchestra, some rock and roll or golden oldies. Lots happening down there.
And there's 7 noon-hour concerts starting, I guess, July 15th, going to the end of August.
That's right. And this year we actually have a sponsor, Origin Active Lifestyle Communities, has come on board to help sponsor some of our parks or some of our concerts so that we're able to add those extra concerts at lunchtime.
I know they're always very, very popular. The particularly great site in terms of the amphitheater at Bowen Park, and that's probably a secret location not everybody knows about.
You're right. Bowen Park is probably one of my favorite spots. It's where the duck pond is. If you've never been there, you need to go check it out. It's a beautiful setting. It's very intimate. Last year we had owls that came down every concert. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's my favorite spot.
And then the regular high-profile location is Sutton in August.
Right. Yeah, Sutton, again, a beautiful spot to be, especially if you have kids and family. Come down with your picnic blankets and your picnics. Just a really fun place to be for a lunchtime or an evening.
And you're featuring mostly local groups, but I understand you also get some touring groups that are coming through.
We've got a couple touring groups this year, which is kind of neat. People that are coming to the island and are really excited to be here, so we have them on our list. Definitely go on our website and check out who we've got. We've got just wonderful groups.
Yeah, this whole poster is on the city website, so if you certainly go and check it out yourselves and find out, there's some great things for entertainment. But you have something else here, and this is a program you started last year, the Golden Bucket.
Yes. So another way to get people and our families out into the parks is a search for our golden bucket. Looks like this. I know it's not golden, but it's yellow. And it moves every Wednesday. There's a new clue that happens every Wednesday, either on our Facebook, on our website, or at any of our activity centers. You're going to go get a clue and try and figure out where that bucket is hidden. Once you find the bucket, inside the bucket is a little question that you have to answer, something to do with the park or the playground that it's in. And then you send that answer to askpre@nanaimo.ca, and you get entered to win a draw. Every week, a new draw, a new prize, lots of fun for the family.
So everybody in the family can get involved, and it's online, so it's some way to get in and get involved and learn about Nanaimo.
Yeah, learn about some parks that you may never have gone to before. So we have some really special, interesting places that it's going to be hidden this year. But yeah, very, very fun. Fun to do with the family, fun to do on your own. Good place to take the dogs, the kids, the grandparents. It's a fun thing to do.
Great, thanks, Deb. It's for a whole summer filled of activities. Check out what Parks, Recreation, Culture. Nanaimo.ca is the website for the city's website, and it's got everything on it. I think that's listed on the screen right now. Again, if you have some questions, just call their information number at 756-5200. Thanks a lot for coming in, Deb.
You're welcome, and everything's free. We love that.
Okay.
Okay.
And let's head to Andrew.
Thanks, Brian, and I'm excited to check out those concerts in the park. I'll look at the lineup when I can get home. But yeah, you may have some old crap lying around in your attic or basement collecting dust that might be worth big bucks. And I've got someone here who's got a lot of old crap that is worth big bucks. Trader Jake, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Andrew. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so you've been collecting for how long?
God, most of my life, actually. I was surrounded with it as a child and would hit the flea markets, immersed it, and lived it ever since. Lost most of everything in a house fire in early 2000s, so that really stemmed on the hoarding nature of it. So it's gone from collecting to hoarding.
What are some of your favorite things to collect and hoard?
Personally, I collect earlier taxidermy, odd items, medical, dental. Anything that's a little dark, a little strange, was never expected to be collected. That's sort of where I'm focusing right now.
Where do you find all your stuff?
I hit yard sales, flea markets, auctions, word of mouth. I work with a network of pickers and people and kooks like myself who enjoy this stuff, and we horse trade and bench race and surround ourselves in junk that no one really needs.
Well, yeah, I see you around at the garage sales and the flea markets, and I mean,
yes.
I'm out looking for stuff too. I love checking out the old things and the antiques. How do you tell if something's rare?
If you've never seen it before, that's a good indication. And you know, use your gut instinct. You know, if it's plastic and crappy, that's probably what it is. If it senses like it's got some age, or you just know deep down that it probably has that gut feeling, you know, you might be onto something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, any tips or tricks for people who go to these flea markets?
Do your research. Get up early. You know, you're not going to find something every single time. It's a crap toss. There's a lot of people out there doing it these days, so the competition's fierce. Do your research, get up early, network with other people. Do it for the love of doing it, for the items, for the history, you know, and, you know, it'll find you.
Of course. Now, you actually own a store downtown, the China Steps Emporium.
I do, yes.
Containing a lot of the stuff that you see on the table.
And much, much more, yes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of these items in just a few minutes here.
Sounds good.
But first, we're going to go and talk to Joni.
And I am here. I am talking to Teresa Ludvigson. And I got that right, I hope.
Got it right.
Good. And you're with Habitat for Humanity, and you've got an amazing project that we're going to be talking about today, because you've got some people in mind for a new house, and so you're going to tell us about how that's going to work.
Well, actually, what we're looking for is 2 families for 2 houses that we're building in September. So we've just recently purchased some land on Extension Road. So in September, we'll be breaking ground and getting ready to go, and we're looking for 2 families that will partner with us to become the next homeowners with Habitat for Humanity. So we're pretty excited.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And for those people that are out there that don't know they're going to be homeowners yet because they haven't applied. So tell me who's going to apply for this, who you're looking for.
We're looking for low-income working families that earn between $25,000 and $52,000 per year. So essentially the working poor. And what we want to do is offer them an interest-free mortgage that will save them about $200,000 in the lifetime of their mortgage. So it's a wonderful opportunity for them. And we need people to apply, to go to our website and print off our application form and actually apply. It's as simple as that. We just want to know about you. We want you to apply, hear about you, and get you into those homes.
Sure. And this is an initiative that started, this particular one started in 2012. So you're just carrying on with, you have 6 lots altogether.
Right. So essentially, we started in 1994. We've got, this will be our 15th and 16th home. But in 2012, we developed a strategic goal to build 20 more. So we're really pushing to go. We developed a partnership with the local university, and they give us about 10,000 hours of volunteer time with those partner families. So really what we're looking for is, some families to come forward and apply and, be part of this wonderful experience. Save $200,000 on your mortgage.
Yeah, something tells me that you're not going to have to encourage people to apply for this. Now, you're actually, as you said, you're partnering with VIU, and they have students in all sorts of different realms, from interior design to the carpentry
program.
Right, and so they come out to the job site with their instructor.
Yes, and it's like a living classroom for them. So if the carpentry program comes out and they're laying a foundation with their teacher, if they get it wrong, they rip it out and start it all over again. So they learned essential skills. And they also learn about helping the community. So that's a great unified partnership that we're really proud of. And some 2 lucky families in Nanaimo are going to be the next homeowners and have a legacy for their kids.
So now, do the homeowners, the people that actually are going to be living in these houses, do they help to build the houses?
Sure. Yes, they can. They can help do certain things, site cleanup. Depends on their work schedule, so we have to be a little bit flexible. Some people might have conflicting shifts, so we are a little bit flexible. Sometimes they are working at the site, sometimes at our restore.
But they get a chance to sort of see their house as it's being built, which is really exciting. You also have the restore. That's one of your initiatives as well. So when people go to the restore, they're actually helping with this kind of work. It's amazing. So it's a full community effort that every time we need something, we go to the restore. We're helping somebody else. That's an amazing project.
Yeah.
So basically, if people want to apply, they can go to the website, which is coming up on the screen right now, I believe, and they can, as you said, print off an application. Tell me about that.
Print off the application, drop it off at our office, or you can fax it over or give us a phone call at 758-8078, and we'll take care of you.
That's great. That's such an exciting initiative. I'm thrilled to be able to tell people about that.
We are too.
So thanks for being with us. And now we're going to go over to Andrew, and he's going to be talking about more stuff.
Thanks, Joni. So we're back again with Trader Jake, and you're going to tell us some about some of this stuff that's on this table here. There's some amazing things. I found some really cool things that are pertaining to the history of Nanaimo. You've got a license plate over there. Tell me about that.
I do. It's a 1914 British Columbia license plate, literally 100 years old this year, and 100 years ago, a car was something to be seen. It's not like this day and age where, we take it for granted. Being a local piece out of Cedar as well, it's, it's 100 years old and it's local. So
that's great. Did you find that at a garage sale?
I didn't. No, it came from a private collector, and it's one I didn't have. So
how do you how do you put some value on that? Like, what is that worth?
Boy, there's a database of collectors and inner circle where the values team they tend to flow with as the collections are growing with these people, and it's a lot of older people, unfortunately, and a lot of them are dead and dying off. So the interest is down, but the value is up because there's less and less of them. That's valued anywhere from about $600 to $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, there was 6,088 of them made in 1914. So, you know, how many are left?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Tell me something else on this table.
We've got some local bottles from Nanaimo as well, as far back as turn of the century to up until the 50s and 60s. You know, our illustrious previous mayor, Frank Ney, brewed his own beer in the 70s, the era of your mayor brewing his own beer. Yeah, there's a bit of everything. I have no brand loyalty, everything from 200-year-old objects to stuff from the late 80s, you know.
You get stuff in all the time. People bring stuff into you to trade or to sell. What's the most interesting thing that's ever come in the shop?
I've had, you know, I've had human remains come through the door. I've had, you know, bricks of gold, things that you wouldn't expect to see come through the door. And, you know, it's interesting every day that I'm there. You know, it's you can't hope for something to come through like that all the time, but it does. It's out there.
For sure. Have you ever got anything in that you would never actually resell?
I'm a collector first and foremost, so the good stuff's at home. Come to the shop and see the crap. I have a museum at my house, and it keeps it thinned out with having the store. You know, I'm a collector first and foremost, and that's where my passion lies. So there is a fair amount of stuff that I would never part with. So when I pass away, come to my estate sale.
All right,
You'll do all right.
I will be there. Yes. The China Steps Emporium is downtown. You can check it out on Facebook. Just search China Steps Emporium, and I believe there's an email on the screen too. Check that out. Talk to Jake, bring your stuff in and have him look at it, maybe get some value on it. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Excellent. And now we got another song, or our first song from Hyperfiend. Take it away, guys.
Some say I'm a family disgrace. I run the world in search of praise. Spiritual possession is my game. Demons spawn with deadly eyes, which you can see when I'm inside. Eventually, you will feel forever. Hell is the world that I have known, even though I was in heaven. Something drew me back to my home, so I took the road to hell. Walking through this realm. I'll rip your core, I'll rip the spirit. When I leave, there's no love within it. Everybody that I take, in the end, their soul I will break. Deadly eyes, which you can see, I'm still inside. Eventually, you will feel so heavy. Hell is a world that I have known, even though I was in heaven. Something drew me back to my home, so I took the path to hell. I'm walking through this earthly realm. Walk with me if you want. see that the road to hell is harder. Hell is a place that I know well. Every little rock and play. Even tried to free myself. See the scars upon my face. Even where demons roam, family, friends, and bees. Something drew me back to my home, so I took the path of dreams. Walking through the land of death. I'm going home, baby.
There we go. That's Raymond, our friend Raymond, behind the guitar there. I'm here with Lesley Clarke, and she's with the Nanaimo Women's Center, and we're going to be introduced to a really great facility that you've just actually opened on Wallace Drive. So tell me a little bit about your new building and a little bit of background about the Women's Center generally.
Yeah, the Women's Center has been in the community for 33 years, and we've often operated out of a very small building, so we haven't been able to sort of fully meet our potential. And we've just moved into a building at 150 Wallace Street, which is a much, much larger location.
Right, you were saying that you went from how many square feet?
From about 1,200 square feet to about 7,000 square feet. So it's a big change for us.
Quite the transition.
Yeah, we're very pleased because we provide a lot of essential services in the community. So women and children can come to us for whatever crisis they're facing. A lot of it is issues around poverty and lack of access to resources.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were saying you deal a lot with sort of homeless issues and
Yeah, we have a program called Turning the Key, which is specifically to help people who are either homeless or at risk of homelessness. That program is also open to men, and it's open to entire families as well.
Right.
And so they can come in and work with a tenancy support worker that will help them find and maintain housing.
That's a really great initiative.
Yeah.
And that's a federal initiative, as I understand
Yeah, that's
it,
correct,
right?
yeah.
But you actually rely on donors. You rely on people in the neighborhood as well to
Yeah, we
donate.
very much rely on the generosity of people of Nanaimo, and people of Nanaimo are very generous, which is a really good thing for us.
Yeah.
And so now moving into a new home,
Right.
we're also looking for people that are willing to come and help us.
Right, you're looking for a lot of different, I guess a lot of different people, because you offer programs there so people can come and offer programs, but you're also looking for really practical things like you were saying flooring and that sort of thing that you need.
We're very fortunate in that we try to also address people's wellness and not just essential needs.
It's a holistic approach.
Yeah, very holistic approach. And so we have people willing to do things like teach yoga to people who wouldn't otherwise have access to something like that. But we need to bring the building to a point where we can offer those things. We now have the space. We just need things like appropriate flooring and that kind of thing. So.
Right. So that's a really practical way that if there's somebody out there that has those skills or even can donate the materials, then you can actually coordinate things at your end. And if, as you say, they want to offer something as well, first you have to have the space ready. So that's the initiative now. And that's a lot of space that you need to take care of. But it sounds like you've got lots of willing hands. And so tell me a little bit about some of the other programs that you do as well. You were saying that you work even in the high school, at the high school level in a preventative way.
We have a program called STAR, and that stands for Supporting Tenancy Through Action and Resources. And we offered that to people who are experiencing homelessness to help them understand rights and responsibilities, and also taking a holistic approach to some of the underlying issues that people are facing. Then we sort of created a junior program, and we've been taking it to the Parksville School District, and ran some test programs there, and it was really well received because a lot of people graduate from high school and have no concept about how to be a tenant.
Right, so you're actually getting to the heart of the issue before
it's a
it
little
becomes
more upstream than
Sure. Oh, I think that's
Yeah.
a wonderful thing to do.
Yeah.
So you're offering a variety of different programs, and if people want to find out more about the Nanaimo Women's Center, they can actually get in touch with you through using some of the resources that we have on our screen here.
Yes,
And
yes.
so I'm really thankful for you and the work that you're doing in the community. It's amazing when I think about all the things that go on behind closed doors, really, and that we're benefiting from and other people are benefiting from. So,
thank you.
so thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
And now we're going to go back to Matt, and he's going to recap for the next part of the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Joni, and thank you, Lesley, as well, for being on the show. Great respect for all the work that the Nanaimo Women's Center does here in Nanaimo, again, through a number of really important programs and services. So awesome stuff. And again, thanks so much for being here. Again, you are watching the show right here on Shaw TV. We're about halfway through. My name is Matt Carter. My man behind the camera's name is Yan, so I guess you could call him Yan Can Cam, if you can do that. So, all right, bones it up. Can you bones it up? There we go, nicely done. Anyways, in addition to just learning about the Nanaimo Women's Center, we've also met with Teresa from Habitat from Humanity. We got the goods on a great summer concert and event series going on in downtown Nanaimo, thanks to the good folks in Parks and Rec. We've looked at a lot of cool old stuff, older than Todd Jones and I combined, even with Trader Jake from downtown Nanaimo. So again, there's a place to go and get your next couple gifts, I'm telling you. He's only 25, apparently, in dog years. All right, coming up, we have our magic moment with illusionist Michael Berends. We also have music segments with our musical guest Hyperfiend, more music and an interview with them. And we're also going to meet drummer Joey Paul. We're also going to find out what's happening with the Nanaimo Foundation, a very important community foundation here. And we're going to start cooking up some crabs in advance of Crabfest 2014. That's a great event happening up in July in Nanoose Bay. But before we get back to the rest of the show, I'd like to take this moment to remind you out there that the BC Summer Games is coming to Nanaimo, and that's taking place July 17th to 20, and it's actually quite amazing. I think it's about the 29th annual BC Summer Games, and it's going to bring an estimated 4,000 people, that's athletes, coaches, trainers, supporters, to the city of Nanaimo. But part of that, we actually need about a volunteer force about that exact same size to help the event come across effectively. And there has been a bit of a call for volunteers out for a while now, but speaking with the organizers, there's still a need for more volunteers, so hence why we're coming to you on the show today. So I talked to the Games Committee, and some of the tasks they need volunteers for, you might be interested in. They need some strong folks to help unload the equipment bags on the very first day of the games, July 17th. For instance, if you're part of a local sports team, a bunch of strong folks here, and much better 10-cent wings than these, that might be a great task for you and your friends. Folks who can also transport volunteers and staff to and from venues. As you can imagine, a lot of the venues aren't going to have a lot of parking, what with all the athletes and supporters and attendants there. So again, if you're a driver, especially if you're a bus driver, you have your Class 2 license, very, very important to have you contribute to the games. We also need accommodation volunteers such as dorm captains, hosts, those who can set up dorm sites, anything involved with accommodations, very useful. We also need folks help with the environment of the games, and by that I mean setting up some drinking water sites to help manage garbage and recycling, very important of course, keeping the games and the community looking clean throughout the week. We also need folks, as you demand, help set up the actual competition site. So that means a lot of signage, setting up area for media, the competitors, coaches, much more. A lot of grunt work that has to be done there, but of course very, very important. So again, we implore you, the community, step up, volunteer for the BC Summer Games. Help make this an event that's not only proud for the community, but event's going to leave a lasting legacy and great memories for all the athletes from around BC. Very awesome. We got the event here, so let's make it a great one. For register or to get more information, simply go to www.bcgames.org, or you can email volunteer@bcsummergames.ca. Again, www.bcgames.org or volunteer@bcsummergames.ca. I should also say, if you want to check out some of the events as well, all the games are events are open and free to the public, so get on out and check out some of BC's best athletes. So now we're going to move from athletic prowess and bring you over here, Jan. We're talking a little bit magical prowess, but before we do that, one of the most amazing things that Michael did yesterday is he's able to sweep a year gone like that. So everyone, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Michael. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you, everybody.
Many more.
Thank you very much,
my man.
Awesome.
All right. Anyways, that's now you've got that 1 year out of the way. Now it's time
Another
for the
year
real stuff.
done.
Exactly.
Time for a magic moment right here on Shaw TV. Today we're going to be using something very simple, something right down here on the table. What we have is a little coin. It's an American $50, and what we're going to do is do a little bit of magic with this $50. All right, watch this $50 very, very close, because what we're going to do is just split it, just like so. All right, there's number 1. Let me see if I can do that again. Split it again. One more time. To watch this last coin really, really close. Split just like that. We end up with 4 individual coins. Now we're going to place these on all 4 corners, and we're going to introduce a bunch of playing cards. I have 4 playing cards right here, and we're going to do a little bit of magic with everything that you see here. Now watch the coins, watch the cards, because we're going to use them to cover some of the stuff here, just like so. Okay, now I want you guys to watch this very, very close, because I'm going to take these coins. You ready? Watch. I'm going to make them switch places, just like this. Watch. Boom. Did you see them switch? No? Not very magic. All right. Here, I'll tell you what. We'll do it like this. Watch. There we go. That's 2. All right. We'll do that again. We'll do it with this one right over here. Watch this close. Okay, here we go. It happens just fast. There we go. One more time. The last one's really quick. It goes invisibly, just like so. You end up with 4 coins. Just like that. All right. Probably want to see it again, so we'll do it one more time. You guys have to watch this very, very close. 4 coins and 4 cards. There we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Watch the coins on the cards very, very close. We're going to do this one more time. Here we go. We're going to use this one first. I'm going to take it. I'm going to make it, whoop, hang on. Try and make it disappear. Just give it a rub. Let's see if it'll work. There you go. There it goes. It's gone. If you take a look, there it is right there. All right. So that's 2. We'll do it again. With this one, right over here, we'll just take it like so. Here's the coin. Disappears just like that. Take a look. That one's gone too. That leaves us with 3 underneath there. That's 1, 2, 3 coins. Let's watch them close. We'll put them right here like so. And then we got this one here. Watch this last one very, very close, because it's going to go really quick. Watch. Here we go. Watch. There it is. So you're probably thinking we got 4 coins underneath here, but if you take a good look, you'd almost swear that they all jump back to their original spots. And that is it for our magic moment right here on Shaw TV. And now we're going to move over to another part of the set to do some more music. I know everybody wished me a happy birthday by singing a song. I'm going to bring you right over, right here, to Matt Hoffman and Hyperfiend.
Hi, I'm here with Mike, Sean, and Raymond with their French heavy metal group, Hyperfiend. So Raymond, can you tell us how you began this group, and how long have you guys been playing?
Well, let me just start by correcting. We're actually a bilingual band. We don't focus in French. We actually focus in both languages. How we got together was fairly simple. I actually answered a Craigslist awesome. Put by Sean. He was looking for a friend to basically start jamming with, and I actually had this wild idea that I wanted to do this competition. So I got with him, and we were focused on the competition, but also focused on trying to get out there, a little more than just being a garage band. Mm-hmm. And then not too long after that, Mike actually answered one of our announcements, and he joined the band not too long after that. So we've been together for about over 1.5 years now.
Oh, crazy. And you guys recently played at the Pacific on Toronto. Can you please tell us more about that and what that experience was like?
Pacific en chanson. Yeah, that's actually a French competition that's actually 23 years old, and it involves all sorts of styles of music. They only pick 4. And it's all across BC. If you win that competition, then you go to Chant West, which travels among all 4 provinces, from Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and BC. And if you manage to win that one, then you go to Granby, which is a 50-year-old festival. And it's where Celine Dion got signed and a whole bunch of other major artists that got signed.
Oh, wow. So it's a pretty big competition.
Yeah, because when we first start off, we represent Nanaimo. After that, if we would have won, we would have represented BC. And after that, we would have represented the west side of Canada. So it's a big, big deal. The best part is they pay for everything, and it was fun.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting, right? Especially when you get the promotion that they do, right?
Yes, the promotional, the pictures, the training. The training is priceless.
Yeah, that's incredible. And a little off topic, can you tell us do you have a favorite move, a favorite style when you're performing?
Well, see, I didn't grow this for nothing, right? So. A little bit of headbanging in life if you love heavy metal.
Yeah. Is there a reasoning for the long hair?
Yeah, it's hard to be taken seriously if all the guys in the band is short-haired.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad. People look at me because I'm short, eh?
I don't know about your height, but you got short hair.
Thanks, buddy. Awesome. And do you guys have any new albums coming out? Anything in production?
We're actually working on our first album. Actually, 2 of them. It's the same songs, but one's going to be French, one's going to be English. For both markets.
Yeah.
And you can check some of them out on SoundCloud. You can actually see a little bit of videos on YouTube. There'll be more coming up, especially the one from Pacifique en Chanson. We plan on putting that up online. And we're actually playing at the Globe on Saturday, this Saturday coming up, if you're interested in checking that out.
That's going to be exciting, eh?
I think so. We've played there before. It's an interesting place, I'll tell you that.
Awesome. Well, I do want to thank you guys for coming onto the show. We hope to see you on Saturday. And if you have...
You going to come out?
I'm pretty sure I am.
I hope to God you come out.
Awesome. Well, if you're a musician out there and you want to get involved and come onto the show, please email Andrew Roberts at gutpop@live.com. And we're going to listen to another song from Hyperfiend. Thank you.
Avec des vraies images comment vivre avec ce calvaire dans un monde terrible, hors de l'air. nuit, ma journée. Comment vivre avec ce calvaire dans un monde terrible? Of limbo. Dans un monde terrible, comment vivre avec ce calvaire?
Oh, there you go. There's Raymond and the gang again. That was great. Thanks, you guys. Nice to hear him performing on the show. And I'm back here, and I have another guest with me. This time we're talking about Crabfest, and this is Kim Mauriks. Yeah. And I just want to make sure that I pronounce the names right, and it's always a trick. So speaking of tricks, you have a little guest with you here.
I have a trick for you. You thought Michael was good.
You're trying to upstage Michael here, I think.
Yeah,
actually,
I am.
Yeah. Let's see what you got. Presto, Matt. Oh, wow, you got a container.
Look at this, Rubbermaid.
Amazing. Made
And
that.
here we got
That was
Sebastian the crab.
Oh, yeah. Very sweet.
Do you want to play with Sebastian?
Oh, sure. Let me.
Just hold him from the side here, and you'll be safe.
That's really great. Thanks. So this is a crab, and this is what they have at Crabfest. Only they're not going to be in this form, right?
These are local Dungeness crab that we catch from Nanaimo to Qualicum.
And you're saying
be very, very careful there. That's the wrong thing to do.
Oh.
You're on the active end there.
Okay. So I hate to think what's going to happen. And so, yeah, it's a wolf crab, you were saying, because it's got a little wolf.
It's a Dungeness crab. The kids love to look at this. I don't know if the camera can get a close shot of that.
There you go.
It's like a little wolf head on the back.
Yeah.
Kids love it.
I'm sure they'll see that. So now, tell me about, you're a fisherman farmer, and so you have a farm out in Nanaimo.
I'm a sheep farmer with crabs, yes.
Haha. Da 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 da. And so then you're going to be having an event on July the 12th. So tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing up at the farm.
The crab, of course, is the show, the star, but it is a local food event to bring that connection of local food and what we have in the area to consumers and chefs.
Right, so you're trying to make a connection between the producers and the
consumer and the chefs.
Yeah, and the chefs and the people that are eating.
And make it fun. So we got a live band, and we bring in breweries and wineries, and we have hay rides for the kids. And
that's amazing. And so the only stipulation is no dogs, as far as I understand.
It would be a little awkward to have 750 dogs potentially running around. Yes.
11 to 4 on the 12th.
11 to 5 on July 12th. Yes.
Okay. And so we're going to be seeing a lot more of these guys, and we're going to be seeing you, and you're going to have a lot of food there and a lot of fun. So we're encouraging people to come on out to the Crab Fest. And you were saying too that it's for a worthy cause.
It is. We're working with the North Vancouver Island Chefs Association, and they are going. There's nothing better than young chefs showing off what they can do with local food. So
and speaking of that, that's a really good segue to our next segment when we're going to be actually seeing one of those chefs in action. So for now, I'm going to be handing it over to Brian. Oh, Brian's way over there, for Pete's sake. Okay. Hi, Brian.
Thanks, Joni. I'm here with someone that's familiar to a lot of people in the music scene in Nanaimo, and for a relatively young musician, he's been playing since he was 8 years old. He set up his own not his website, but his email address as Sir Drummallot. So this is Joey Paul I have with me, and Joey's played through the school system. You've played on your own, and you've played in a number of bands, big and small, around Nanaimo, I guess.
Sort of, yeah.
Okay. I guess for most people in recent memory, you were the drummer and participant for a few years with Foreign Influence, who played around town and in the Mid-Island area.
Mid-Island area, a little bit on the mainland there, yeah.
And was known for, and I guess, a little heavier rock and roll, a little more commercial rock and roll.
Yeah, well, heavier, played a lot of covers, you know, kind of hard rockish kind of sound, yeah.
So in terms of your influences in your background, who were they in your early days of what you were doing? And
early days? What do you mean, like when I first started playing?
Yeah, when you first started playing, who were the groups you were following?
Just everybody, you know, Rush, Zeppelin, those kind of guys, you know. And then I got into heavier stuff and sort of went heavier, and that's sort of what I want to do nowadays. But I mean, I mean, my roots always will stay with those hard rock guys, you know, but I want to do something heavier. I want to do something better.
Okay. And I know this is something you're a little apprehensive about bringing up, but you did go down, what was it, this spring to a rock and roll fantasy camp down in Vegas?
Yeah, kind of a bit of a birthday present from my dad, and he called me up and said, "You're going to Vegas," and I said, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, this is why," and I'm like, "Okay, well, does that even exist? Is that even like a thing?" And he said, "Yeah, it is." So,
and
it's cool.
And some of the key people, and like there's rock and roll, there's fantasy camps for sport. Who were some of the idols that were down there as instructors and leaders at this camp?
I got to meet a few of my heroes, drumming wise, and other like on other instruments as well. Got to meet Frankie Banali, who's a drummer in Quiet Riot, you know, and the drummer of Black Sabbath and Dio, Vinny Appice. He was a really, really nice guy, and got to really chill and talk to those guys, just have lunch with them. You know, they're really nice, real people, you know. So it was kind of refreshing to see that.
Did they give you any feedback on your playing?
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
I mean, they're just sort of there to kind of mentor you. And,
and you connected with a few other people who were at the camp from some other places on the West Coast?
On the West Coast, yeah, some from down in the States and some.
Okay. Currently, you're a member of the distributors, and I guess there's a big gig coming up. They're playing as a warm-up for Sebastian Bach on August 1st.
August 1st in the Port Theatre, yeah, just in town here. So that's going to be quite fun. That's actually my last show with that band, but they're going to be up and around the island all the time. They're playing lots.
So your aspirations, and you and I chatting, you're wanting to have more influence about the kind of music you play, the kind of music that would be. And that's more heavy rock?
Yeah, I'd say heavy metal, heavy stuff. Doomier kind of, you know, really dark stuff. But I mean, a lot of people aren't into it. Nothing's for everybody.
And you may be leaving town to get into
may have to leave town. That's right, and most likely, like, you know.
Well, if you have questions for Joe on his experiences and where he's heading, or you just want to follow where he's heading, certainly go to the website that his is Sir Drummallot at hotmail.com, and certainly keep an eye. This kid's going somewhere. So let's head over to Rachel now.
Thanks, Brian. I'm here with Ted Carson, and so welcome.
Thank you.
So, for starters, what is the Nanaimo Foundation?
The Nanaimo Foundation is a foundation in Nanaimo that was founded in 1982, and was founded at that time basically by the ACT, which is the Associated Commercial Travelers, and it was founded with $200,000 in cash and $250,000 in land. It was extra money that these people had left over after they built the Travelers Lodge, and it was established basically by the Vancouver Community Foundation, which has become very big as has the Victoria Foundation. And here we sit today.
What exactly does this foundation do for the Nanaimo community?
Well, in the Nanaimo community, there's 4 major foundations, one of them being the Hospital Foundation, another one being VIU Foundation, another being the School Board. Well, Nanaimo, and they're all single-focused, and they're all great foundations, but Nanaimo Foundation has a 360-degree focus. We do many things for many different people. I guess in the last week we had a gentleman that came in that wishes to remain anonymous, that he gave us $300,000. $100,000 was to go to the Travelers Lodge for 24/7 Alzheimer's care. Another $100,000 went to the Nanaimo Hospice, and I think everybody knows what a hospice is all about. And $100,000 went to us for unrestricted funds to deal with the issues that are important in our community of Nanaimo.
You mentioned donations. How exactly would you donate to this foundation?
Well, if somebody wanted to help us in any way right now, they could come and give us, you know, the money that they wanted to give to any cause that mattered to them particularly. And a lot of money also is left to us in the way of endowments and legacies that people might have had a love in life. It could have been any kind of thing. It might have been the art gallery. It could have been the museum. It could have been the Port Theatre or Stage 1 down on Victoria Crescent, any number of things. And people would leave those legacies in their will because, you know, we're very fortunate today that a lot of people have accumulated a lot of money. For example, the Vancouver Foundation today has over $1 billion. Most of that money that Vancouver Foundation has been donated to them has been donated to them in the last 20, 30 years. And the Victoria Foundation probably sits at about $450 million today. And again, most of that money was donated in the last 20, 30 years. A lot of people have been very successful in this country and they wish to leave monies. This is why you see things like the Bill Gates Foundation and the Warren Buffett Foundation doing the kind of things that they do, giving money to projects that matter and care to people. And we like to do that same thing here in Nanaimo. We find the people in Nanaimo to be very proud of their community and very generous and big-hearted. And we're here to play a role for them and also to keep the expenses down. We've rebranded in the last 2 years. We had a great group of people that founded the foundation and kept it going for 20 years, and did a fabulous job over that period of time. People like Scott Curry, Bob Rolich, Dave Hart, Jane Gregory. A gentleman named Hussey did a great job for over 20 years, but the time had come for Nanaimo to rebrand and step forward and get back into the basic concepts of what the Canadian Foundation does and be a loving and caring organization with our community for our needs that we have. When we have many, we have many.
Thank you, Ted. That was extremely informational. Now we're going to head back over to Joni and her crab friends.
My crab friends. That's great. All the crabs, I'm surrounded by them. They're all nagging at me. So right now I have Wes Erickson with me, and we are quite privileged to have him with us because he was saying last month he was being interviewed on Danish TV. So now we've got him back in Nanaimo. Tell us a little bit about what you're up to here.
Well, what I'm up to today is I'm going to take local crab that we're going to be serving at Crabfest. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. Because crab's an expensive product for good reason. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another local product, lingcod, and then I'm going to scramble it with a bunch of eggs. Right. And we're going to make a burrito out of it. And it's going to be absolutely delicious.
And did you know this? So we still have Kim hanging around here?
Kim.
Yeah.
I've known Kim my entire life. We've commercial fished together, and
you guys
it's wonderful that we're working together.
You were saying that you're a commercial fisherman, and you also are a chef, and you're involved in all these different things. Kim also has he sells this at his farm.
Does. Everything we're cooking today, he'll sell to his farm, including the eggs.
All the protein.
All the protein.
That's great.
I'll take out my fork.
Nice. Oh, you just have to have a fork there.
Yeah.
So you're going to be there on the 12th, and you're basically organizing everything. You're the head honcho there.
I'm the person who's bridged the gap between commercial fishermen and chefs. To have a commercial fisherman in the Canadian Culinary Federation is kind of like a Neanderthal who's an archaeologist. It just doesn't happen. So it's wonderful to have this opportunity.
Nice word picture that you paint there. So you're putting the egg in, and so that's going to bind it all together.
And then I'm going to add the crab, and it's all just going to taste like wonderful crab.
So you're making it go a little farther. That was one of the things you were saying. When you've got something that is a delicacy like this and that's a little bit pricey, you want to make it last longer. So you put some lingcod in there. Well, actually the lingcod is coming, I suppose.
So our whitefish fishery in Canada is considered one of the most sustainable in the entire world. So that's why I'm using lingcod. Nice. And so we're gonna get some avocado on these burrito shells.
Wow, you got all my favorite ingredients here.
Yeah, some cheese.
And that's the pork. No, that's not the same crab. No.
This is the crab. I shelled it because there wasn't enough time to shell crab for this episode.
Yeah, no,
and we're going to just put a little sour cream on here.
No crabs have been harmed. They weren't friends yet.
And so, this is a basic burrito. You could add salsa or whatever you like to this.
Sure. Salsa would be good.
So I'm just going with the
basic.
basic.
Does that overpower the taste though? It would have to be a certain type of salsa, or
any kind you like. A nice spice would be good with this. A little bit of Tabasco or anything. A little acid is always great with seafood. So I'm going to put a little lemon on here just as it's done.
I'm not going to go there. Okay. So anyway, you've got some egg here, and you're going to be putting it into your
put it
Doritos.
in, wrapping it, and then cutting it, and then it's ready to go. And this can be breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so quick. Like people talk about fast food. I mean, it's
This is
right.
fast food.
How long did that take? 1 minute. I know because I'm being timed.
You know, when I commercial fished with my dad as a child, he used to say, if the fish are biting, you don't eat. So he said, you've got 5 minutes to make and eat food. So I'd have to run inside and make something. And so that's where I began training
bite
to be
naturally.
a chef. Yeah.
There you go.
So this is a lingcod. It's a beautiful, beautiful product. Sustainably harvested right here in British Columbia.
Okay, there you go. So that's so this is your what you're going to be experiencing on the 12th of July when people go out to the farm.
Yeah.
And so it's in Nanaimo Bay. Tell me again.
Northwest Bay Ranch.
Northwest Bay Ranch, easy for me to say, on Northwest Bay Road in Nanaimo. And you're going to be cooking up a storm. There's going to be a lot of music and all sorts of exciting other things happening. But mostly we're there for the food. There's going to be various food, not just crab, but we've got other types of food.
Lamb, beef.
And there's going to be a bunch of chefs there from the North Vancouver Island Chefs Association, all in their whites. And serving up a storm. We're going to be cooking naan bread in the pizza oven, so fresh bread right out of the pizza oven.
That's great, and all outside on the farm. I mean, that's so amazing when you mix those two things together, seafood and farm. Where else can you do that but Vancouver Island?
Exactly.
Nanaimo.
What a wonderful place to live.
It is. Every day, you know, I've lived here all my life, but I'm never bored. It's just such an amazing place. And that we can get all of this food in our own backyard. I have a feeling that there's people that are smelling the food, and they're going to be coming over here like
to sample it.
They're going to to be swarming, as it were.
A few different
There's lingcod over here.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. Beautiful. Yeah.
No lingcod were harmed in this episode.
All right.
We just borrowed that piece.
It's Carter, not tartar. Beautiful stuff. Awesome. Joni, thank you so much for setting this up. Wes and Kim, thank you guys so much for being here. Again, we love having the food segments. And again, one question I did want to ask before we do a little bit of a wrap here. Folks are going to a seafood market or like to select a crab. What sort of things should they look for when they see the big tank full of crabs? How's to pick the
Nice and lively.
Nice and lively?
Not
nice.
asleep.
Yeah. Not with the lazy legs, exactly, yeah.
Well, just like everything in life, really.
Exactly, yeah, nice and lively.
That's what they say about you. When you're looking for music.
Anyways, we'll move on this way now. I am going to come back. Well, I might eat some of that, but I'm going to leave the rest for you guys. After all, I'm not very shellfish. So, anyways, I don't want to do a lot of bad jokes because they might pull some sort of Game of Thrones thing on me and lock me up in the Dungeness. You know, sent there by the king. King crab, come on, people. King's got very nice legs. Let me tell you.
This is the last show.
It's a hard sell to get them. Let me tell more jokes on here. Very hard sell. So
work on jokes over the summer.
Well, I figure maybe if I cut the jokes out, it'll be more of a soft shell to get me on the show. More of a soft shell on there. Oh, by the way, as a bit of an aside, I'm really impressed. I go to these restaurants these days, and I see these new crispy breaded deep fried sushi rolls. Deep fried crispy sushi rolls. I guess they're calling it now crustacean cuisine. Crustacean cuisine. Oh, wow. They don't even get it. Crustacean? Come on now. Anyways, it's time for me to get out of here fast. So I'm going to thank all the folks here, all the volunteers and staff behind the camera and in front of the scenes. I want to send a shout out to, where's Anton? Hey, Anton, is it true you're going off to film school or something like that?
Yeah, I'm going to the Capilano Film School.
There you go. One of our volunteers right here, this guy Anton, who now has worked up going to the Capilano Film School. Big round of applause. Come on, my man. So turning this career here into a real career. So Anton, congratulations.
Thank you.
Big thank you to there. All right, I also want to send a big thank you, of course, out not only to these guys for some great seafood over there, but to Milanos for feeding our hungry crew before the show. By the way, you can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Show on Shaw. You can find previous episodes of the show right there, or on YouTube. Just search up the Shaw TV Central Vancouver Island /Nanaimo page. And hey, if you've got a great story idea for us on the show, or you want to be featured, or know someone or something who should be, we're always looking for great island stories and personalities. So drop an email to our executive producer, Melissa Hall. Her email address is melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. I do want to let folks know that we are taking a bit of a hiatus here on the show until September sometime. So again, thanks to everyone who's been watching us over the course of the last 6 months, and of course since the show started. Again, episode number 77. It's been a blast. So watch out for some highlight packages coming over the summer, and we'll see you back in September. So to finish off episode number 77, back to our good friends from Hyperfiend with a song called Act of Terror. Thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
their hands. The time is coming. Sleeper cells arise. Cold masses. All of this within due time. Neutral evil. Forecast violence. Act of terror. Vengeance time. Act of terror. Vengeance.